us now is the West Bloomfield Township Supervisor, Steve Kaplan, back with us once again on the Oakland County Megacast. Steve, thank you for being here.
Hello, Tyler. Nice to see you. You and your colleagues perform great services for our community.
Appreciate your kind words, Steve. Let's talk about an exciting upcoming event for four communities in Oakland County, for what are known as the Greater West Bloomfield communities, West Bloomfield Township, but also the Tri-Cities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, and Sylvan Lake. That's coming up this weekend. Can you tell us about that event, what goes on at the Household Hazardous Waste event in West Bloomfield, and give us a little bit of an origin story behind this event in West Bloomfield?
This is our 14th year providing household hazardous waste services to our community. And the community, as you mentioned, includes Keego Harbor, Orchard Lake, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield. As you know, West Bloomfield residents tend to be much more environmentally sensitive and pro-environment than residents from other communities. And there was an outcry in around 2007, what do we do with our hazardous materials, our computers, our televisions, chemicals, paint, old medicine? What do? We don't want to place them in landfills.
Sure.
Well, the township board then, about 14, 15 years ago, devised the annual Household Hazardous Day event, but now it's not annual, it's twice per year. And it's timely that you and I are chatting because our first one for 2022 will be this Saturday between 9 and noon at Town Hall. And also seniors, that's age 62 or older, can visit here both Saturday 9 to noon, Tyler, and Friday from 4 to 6.
And so what are some of the different household items that are accepted? There are a number of different vendors that are at this event at West Bloomfield Town Hall that are able to collect and recycle or dispose safely of a number of different materials. What are some of the highlights of those?
Important to note, if I may, that we also have shredding services twice per year. As you know, originally and for 10 years, shredding services and household hazardous waste disposals would take place on the same day and same time. But now we've segregated the events. But in terms of items that the township accepts during the HHW event are paint, gas, oil, pesticides, fertilizer, fire extinguishers, insecticides, nail polish, smoke detectors, solvents, varnish, thermometers, light bulbs, batteries, kerosene, and some other items. Also electrical items, which would include cell phones, cable boxes, computers, DVD machines, VCR machines, printers, stereos, scanners, televisions, fax machines, laptops, and gaming units.
And so, Steve, how did these different materials, how these vendors, better yet, that you're bringing in to dispose of these materials, how has the township gone about not only vetting these different organizations to make sure that they are capable of disposing of these items safely, but ultimately to build those partnerships to be able to have these different vendors provide these services to four communities on a twice annual basis?
There's a company in Livonia called U.S. Environmental, and U.S. Environmental provides the staffing. I want to talk to you about volunteers in a moment, but the staffing. So when Tyler drives in his vehicle, he ends up in an area for disposal, and there are individuals who are unloading these items from your car. You don't have to remove them. It's done by the staff for U.S. Environmental. The company is extremely reliable. And a concern of everybody is, are these items really being handled properly, or are they going to end up in somebody's landfill? Because if they're in a landfill, why are we taking the time to deliver them to the township? So this company has had high ratings. Also, volunteers. We have approximately 14 of our employees on Saturday will be volunteering. Well, it's not pure volunteerism because they can receive a comp day, but they will be outside helping direct traffic, giving information to the motorists who are visiting HHW Day.
More information on the West Bloomfield Township website, wbtownship.org. We're joined by Steve Kaplan, West Bloomfield Township Supervisor, with us on the Oakland County Megacast. We've gone over some items that are accepted. Are there any items that are not accepted at the Household Hazardous Waste events?
Yes, good question. Air conditioners, ammunition, tires, car parts, helium tanks, hot water tanks, construction materials, plastic shopping bags, and styrofoam. Now, we'll take medicine, but not controlled substances like Xanax and Valium, but those items are taken by our police department 24 hours per day. Now, you might wonder, and I know you're always a step ahead of me, Tyler, which is not difficult, but what about these items that you don't take? What happens to them? If you go to our website under how to recycle solid waste, different agencies' names are there, different dump sites where you can take these items. Tires are always difficult for people because who wants to have old tires laying around the garage? Our experience is that if you have a relationship with Bell Tire or Firestone or some other tire company, that company might take the old tires off your hands.
So this year's event has actually been expanded. In the past, it's only been a select couple of communities in the greater West Bloomfield area. Now it includes all 4 of the quote-unquote greater West Bloomfield communities: West Bloomfield, Kegel Harbor, Orchard Lake Village, and Sylvan Lake. Where did that expansion come into play? Was that always there, or has this event expanded from just West Bloomfield Township out to neighboring communities over the years?
Good question. Initially, it was West Bloomfield, but Orchard Lake, Sylvan Lake, and Kegel Harbor inquired, what about us? We're part of the community, and they are. So they pay us, I think it's $56 per vehicle. And so it's not free to those residents. It's absorbed through the general fund at Kegel Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and Orchard Lake.
The household hazardous waste drop-off Saturday, 9 a.m. until noon at West Bloomfield Town Hall on Walnut Lake Road in West Bloomfield Township. Again, Saturday, April 9th, 9 a.m. until 12 noon is the household hazardous waste drop-off. Seniors have their drop-off day also available on Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. That's April 8th, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. for seniors, or they can go during the general hours on Saturday, April 9th, 9 a.m. until 12 noon. More information on the West Bloomfield Township website, wbtownship.org. We're joined by West Bloomfield Township Supervisor Steve Kaplan with us on the Oakland County Megacast. And while we're talking about environmental issues, there was a bit of controversy that popped up in the news recently here in West Bloomfield Township in regards to a development through Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. An ongoing battle now between an environmentalist group in West Bloomfield that's now speaking out about their opposition to this particular development. It went through all of its basic legal proceedings within the township, within the Planning Commission and the Environmental Commission. It was ultimately passed and cleared to begin. Do you care to give your thoughts on that situation and what the township is looking to do, particularly the elected officials, to prevent this kind of a back and forth after the fact in future cases?
Well, I think everybody in the township agrees we need a behavioral health hospital. So those residents who are irate over the number of trees being removed in Henry Ford Hospital, they're not saying you don't need that behavioral health hospital. So that's a given. So what occurred, it was like the perfect storm. For one, the Planning Commission, interestingly, or maybe not interestingly, is the body that makes the decision on this land site use. The Township Board does not ratify or verify or affirm what the Planning Commission has decided. It might be, and one can't say what would have happened, but it might be that had the Township Board received an appeal or had the right to review or under the law made the ultimate decision itself, you would have had more trees saved. And I know how avid, fervent, ardent our residents are. They like the environment. Some people move here because of the environment. And their position that more trees are being removed than might be necessary has good merit. And perhaps law needs to be changed where on issues involving site plans, land use, that the township makes the final decision, or that the township automatically reviews it, and that's not the case here. So there might have been a different outcome. Certainly doesn't help people or satisfy people who are dissatisfied with the number of trees being remove at Henry Ford Hospital.
And just for clarification for those out in the community that are following along with this story, is there anything that can be done at the township level at this point to modify those plans, short of any back and forth discussions with the planners themselves through Henry Ford Health?
When the Planning Commission reached its decision, anyone in the community other than an elected township board member could have appealed. Nobody appealed to the township board. And as I said, who knows what the outcome would have been. But also, it's not well known among the community, and unless you're watching the Planning Commission meetings, you might not have known about the outcome. Well, therefore, you've asked what can be done now. We did meet with Henry Ford Hospital leaders, and they did make some concessions. Earlier on, they agreed to limit the building from 3 stories to 2 stories. Also, they have set aside 15.7 acres of trees permanently in a conservation document. And also, so we said to them, we're not happy with the outcome here. And although you have a finding by the Planning Commission, which we cannot reverse, what can you do? What they agreed to do, and again, it doesn't save any trees, is they're spending $800,000, Tyler, to have the behavioral hospital brought up to the highest certification in terms of environment and LEED standards with the green roof. So that doesn't replace trees, but at least they made some efforts to not alleviate, but to show good faith to the community. And the only thing that could have happened here now, Tyler, is if the hospital on its own decided to reconfigure the project and save more trees. And we've encouraged them to do that, but I'm not hopeful.
More information on these Planning Commission and Environmental Commission meetings that went over this particular case that's been in the news of late is on wbtownship.org, where you can read all the minutes, all the agendas, all the agenda packets for each and every one of these cases. You can also watch all these meetings on demand at civiccentertv.com, where our posts of these meetings will also have a link to the agendas, so you can go over more information about the cases as well. We're joined by Steve Kaplan, West Bloomfield Township Supervisor on the Oakland County MegaCast. Steve, a few more minutes with you today. Exciting news as we head into the warmer season, that an event that's pretty well appreciated in West Bloomfield Township, particularly those that are frequenting Town Hall, as Food Truck Tuesdays. That is back coming up. Can you tell us about Food Truck Tuesdays and who can participate?
Yeah, so the Township Board realized maybe 5 years ago it would be a nice way to enhance the community by having food trucks. People like food trucks. And we have food trucks now every other Tuesday at Town Hall between 11:30 and 1:30. And the trucks are parked near the Library and Parks Commission building. And different vendors are involved. We have one vendor per event, but sometimes there's an ice cream truck stops by too. Everybody loves ice cream trucks.
We're joined by Steve Kaplan, West Bloomfield Township Supervisor. More information on Food Truck Tuesdays in a couple places, wbtownship.org or wbparks.org, the two organizations. Parks, it's separate organization, and the West Bloomfield Township partner on Food Truck Tuesdays. More information on their websites, wbtownship.org and wbparks.org. Steve, any other upcoming events or things in the township that our audience should be keeping an eye out for?
Yes, we are sponsoring a Get Rid of the Garbage Day on a Saturday. Township employees are volunteering, and no comp time, and maybe some residents in the community, to remove the rubbish from the sides of the roads, the main streets. Yeah. It's terrible. Who's responsible? The Road Commission is responsible for maintaining roads, but they have insufficient funding and staff to pick up garbage from the roads. Unfortunately, some people litter. You don't, I don't, but some people even throw bags of garbage out the window. It's particularly bad on Drake Road, on 14 Mile, and 15 and Maple Road. So it's on our website. I don't have the exact date, or just call Town Hall. But if you want to contribute to cleaning up the community, making those roads look better, which we all deserve because we are an environmentally sensitive community, give us a call. Maybe you can join us for a few hours to help remove the garbage.
Keep up to date on that effort and more at wbtownship.org. Steve, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Tyler. Good seeing you.